And that is a wrap on season 2 of Fallout. If you looked on Instagram around, I'd say May 8th, probably, maybe around that time, a lot of the cast of the Fallout TV show posted photos saying that they had all wrapped up on the new season. And a week or so later, we got a release month of December 2025. So I'm pretty excited about that. And we don't have an exact date yet, but hey, it's coming this year, so I mean, I'll take it. But we also got a greenlit season 3 as well, and that was announced, which is pretty exciting. And the first, I'll just talk about the first season for a minute. I think the first season was amazing. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Fallout, obviously, and the fact that they're making a show about one of my favorite games is fantastic, and I'm super excited for how this next season is, because we're going to one of the best locations in Fallout, in my opinion, which is New Vegas, and I'm excited to see how they adapt the lore behind that area and the games, and what they keep from the games, and maybe characters and obviously scenery. So now that we're talking about that, I'm going to talk about some set photos that I saw on the internet, and usually through Reddit or just different types of media throughout the month. Some of these are older, some of these are newer, but on the YouTube channel, I'm going to have actual pictures of those show up on screen while I'm talking about it. But obviously for the podcast, I can't really do that. So first thing we're going to talk about is the teaser, I guess, is what you would call it, of Walton Goggins' character doing different types of commercials for television. Like he did one for, I think, Atomic Sunscreen, which is funny because, like, if you're going to be in a vault, like, what's the point? Atomic Sunscreen is even crazier of a thing to imagine. I mean, the next one is Nuka-Cola, of course, which that was pretty cool to see. And then we got one for the Lucky 38, which is pretty exciting. I hope we get to visit that place in the show. I mean, it also just depends on the canonicity of the games. Like, in the games, did you kill off Mr. House? I'm wondering what they're going to keep canon about the games, which will be interesting. And then we also get a wide shot of New Vegas that we kind of saw something similar with Lucy's father seeing New Vegas, from the mountainside or from the hillside. Just a wide shot of New Vegas, and we also get to see the Ghoul and Lucy, of course. That's pretty exciting. It was nothing crazy, just a nice little, like, hey, here, it's coming, basically. And the commercials were cool because they were all in black and white, and had that Fallout look to them, and all of that fun stuff about it. And sorry, gotta move my mic here for a second. And I'll do my best to include all the photos from those, like I said, in the YouTube video. But let's move on to the next one. Let me see what I got here. What I'll share next is probably one of the cooler parts of the leaked set photos, which is NCR and Legion troops, and their uniforms, obviously. I think they did a fantastic job on how they look, because they look exactly like they do in the game, except obviously more realistic. They adapted them like pretty well. Like they look about what I would imagine them to look like in real life. The materials look real solid. They actually look like I knew what they were as soon as I looked at them. One, because I played the games, and two, you can just tell. The NCR They kind of just looked like regular troops. They didn't look like the police or rangers or any kind, at least from what I could see in the leaked photos. From what I could tell, it just looked like normal troops. I mean, there could be military police in there as well. And they were standing in like a formation of some kind. So it's like, obviously it looked like they were marching, maybe. Or it could just be, just a dull moment before a take. I mean, who knows? But that was pretty cool to see. And then the next one, it was the Legion, Caesar's Legion. If you don't know about them, they're kind of like Roman cosplayers is the way I would talk about it, which is pretty cool. They use like hockey pads and stuff like that. It's pretty funny. We see a couple of regular Caesar's Legion troopers or soldiers, and we see a centurion, which is pretty cool because they're kind of like higher ranked Caesar's Legion. Like they kind of do like assassinations and like hit squads. Like if you've played the game and you get bad with Caesar's Legion, they kind of are some of the troops that show up to, get back at you for betraying Caesar's Legion. They obviously have like the Centurion helmets, and they have like, I believe they have pieces of power armor on them, like shoulder piece and stuff like that, which is pretty neat. I wonder if it's going to be like, the reason they're showing up is, one, if it's going to be a flashback, or if it's post the Second Battle of Hoover Dam. It could be either one. I think either one would be cool. Like if we see kind of like New Vegas before our characters get there, like the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, and then post, because, I mean, then you kind of have to pick an ending if they both show up then, because it's like, okay, if NCR won, that means Caesar's most likely dead. One, they either assassinated him, or two, he died of brain cancer. Because in the games, that's one of the plot points, is it's like, hey, he's going to die, if he doesn't get this surgery or whatever. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I mean, obviously there would be like different cells, like squads, I guess, that kind of like, I don't know if we're going to see like a big amassment of an army in Caesar's Legion. That would be kind of cool. I'm not getting my hopes up for that, to see like some huge battle with the NCR and Legion, because it's kind of a more personal story. They kind of just fall in like the background, for the most part. So they might just be there as a presence, but not like, controlling everything. Another photo that I saw, it was pretty cool to see, was a Dinky the Dinosaur head. And if you don't know who Dinky the Dinosaur is, it is a big T-Rex, basically, that's in the town of Novak, that two snipers post up at to protect the little community of Novak. And those two characters, one is Boone, who is a companion that you can get in Fallout New Vegas, and he's an NCR. He was formerly an NCR sniper, and he has a whole background, whole storyline, quests that you can go through in the game. And the other one is Manny. He is a former Great Khan, maybe. I think, a former Great Khan or something. And he directs you to RepCon to help him out to get rid of the ghouls that are there, even though they're friendly ghouls. And he also, once you do that, directs you to Boulder City, where the main story of Fallout New Vegas continues. It looks really good. It looks a lot like it does in the game. I mean, it's nothing like crazy. Like, it's a giant green dinosaur, and you can go up in its mouth, and that's kind of what they use as their sniper's nest. And it's just something iconic, in my opinion, from New Vegas. It's real exciting to see. So hopefully we get to visit Novak, and maybe we get to meet two of those characters. That would be pretty cool to see, especially Boone, but even Manny, show up and maybe kind of direct them on, Hank coming by or something. I don't know, but I think that'll be cool. And then there's some other set photos that leaked of the strip. Like we see the lower part of the Lucky 38, which is cool. So we might end up visiting there. The Gamora, I think you see the tops. I'm not exactly sure, but that's pretty cool to see. And they have like a before and after, like one where it looks, or actually a few. One where it looks pre-war, so there might be some flashbacks to the strip, which will be pretty cool to see because we haven't really seen the strip of New Vegas or Las Vegas back then. Before the war, we only see it post, and so looks like we might get to see some of that because there was a lot of like newer cars, not dilapidated, roads well maintained, stuff like that. And then we get post-war, which is probably how it looks in New Vegas for the most part. And then there was some sort of attack because there's also photos of a stand-in for a Deathclaw and marks and cars thrown everywhere and scratch marks and explosions, all the fun stuff of an attack. So that'll be interesting to see. So it looks like at some point, New Vegas gets attacked maybe. So looking forward to seeing that in the show. And then the final photo I'll share, and the one that has perplexed me the most, I would say, is a NCR power armor. It looks like it has the NCR logo. It has a helmet that kind of looks like the NCR riot armor. Like it looks like it's based exactly off of that. It looks cool, but it also just kind of messes with how difficult it is to make power armor. Because back then, pre-war, even the Chinese, who we were at war with during the events of pre-war Fallout, couldn't replicate it. They couldn't figure it out. No one's been able to really figure it out. Even the Brotherhood of Steel, who their kind of whole thing is power armor, they can modify power armor. Modifying power armor isn't that difficult, but the process supposedly for making power armor is extremely difficult. I think the Enclave was able to replicate it in the older games. It's been a really long time since I've played those, but I think they had the ability to recreate power armor. But also it's like former government military, so I guess that would kind of make sense. I could be wrong. They couldn't been able to do it, and they just found them. But I don't necessarily know how to feel about it because it's cool that we're getting another power armor in the world of Fallout, but it's also like how it kind of it shows how good the NCR is if they are able to do that and replicate power armor. Because it's an extremely difficult process, like I had mentioned. But it's also like how easy was it for them to do that when even, like I said, pre-war militaries couldn't replicate it. So that's something that I hope that they kind of try to explain in the show, and it doesn't just show up. We see an actual photo of it, like in the studio being made, it looks like, or just waiting to be used. And then we see it in the strip. It looks like it'll be fighting a Deathclaw, which will be interesting to see. That'll be cool. If I remember hearing correctly, it's like kind of a melee variant of power armor, so it has like, it's meant more for melee, so it kind of like moves a little better, I would assume. Looking at the photos, it like isn't all metal, interestingly enough. Because like power armor, like it's basically all metal except for the joints. But this looks like it has like pieces of like some sort of like rubber looking material, or it might just be the material that it's made out of for the show. It looks like it has better mobility, not as bulky. Because the NCR does use a form of power armor in New Vegas. It's a modified version of the power armor that you don't need to necessarily train with to use it. And in the game, it's just the shoulder pads, basically, of the power armor removed, which is just from a gameplay perspective. I'm sure there's more to it than that. But it just, like, they have that armor. They have power armor. It's just a modified T45, I believe. Just a modified T45 set. And I don't know. It's interesting. It's cool. It looks cool. The lore implications of it, like I said, a little shaky. But, I mean, it's their show. They can do what they want. I can tell you how I feel about it all day. But at the end of the day, it's what they want to do. So, it's not impossible for them to do it. It's just, I don't know, a little shaky, lore-wise, I guess. But I could be wrong. Well, that's about all I have to talk about for the Fallout TV show. Let's see. Let me see what I got coming up here for you guys. Well, I'm going to... this channel, podcast, whatever you want to call it, it's not all going to be Fallout related stuff, but for right now, that's probably what it's going to be. Just every once in a while, sprinkle in something else. Just because I love Fallout. Fallout's what I know the most. It's what I enjoy. So I guess coming up next for the channel and for the podcast, I'm going to have a Fallout 3 stream that I'm just going to be streaming Fallout 3, basically. I'm going to go through all of it, all the DLCs, as much of it as I can get to. Those will probably be every other day or daily. I'm not exactly sure yet. It just depends on how I feel about it and how it's doing, obviously. I'm going to try to go through all the Fallout games that I can on Xbox. So it'll be Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, and Fallout 76. Then that character that I make for Fallout 76, that'll probably be the character that I use for the new seasons. Which brings me to, I'm going to for sure stream that day when the new season comes out, I believe June 3rd. So June 3rd, I'm going to be streaming that day to try out the new season, Gone Fission. Good play on words of Gone Fishing and Fission. It's like a fishing themed season. There's like lots of like components that have to deal with fishing. They're adding fishing to the game, which I feel whatever about, but it's a new season. I didn't like the last season. So we'll try it out. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm going to start a new character on there for specifically streaming the game. And obviously when I play through the game, I'm going to do everything I can. All the quests, all the events, do all the fun stuff. Just because it's a game I enjoy playing. I play it every day. So might as well stream it while it's here. And then I'm going to try my best to do Fallout lore videos every once in a while. Just kind of explaining like background stuff for the Fallout universe. Like kind of like, the origins of the Brotherhood of Steel. The origins of the NCR. Certain characters. I'm not going to do like full breakdowns of games just because, like I said, I'm going to be playing the games on stream. And that'd just be a lot of work to also come up with lore videos for the entire universe at the time of those games. So be looking forward to all of that. I'm going to try to have guests every once in a while. My best friend, I know he wants to do one. I know my brother wants to do one with me. My girlfriend, I've talked to her about it. And, she kind of wants to do one too. And I think that'd be fun. But, so yeah, all kinds of different podcasts and streams and YouTube videos are going to try and going up. I don't really know how to edit videos, so it'll be a learning process. Most of the time, the videos might just be me in front of the camera talking or me talking, voicing over screenshots and stuff like that, and documents and all that fun stuff. Until because it's a learning process for me. I've never had a YouTube channel before. I've never really done any sort of editing. Podcast editing is a little easier because it's all sound, but it'll be exciting. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to put in some work on this because originally this podcast especially has had like a lot of different iterations. Like for a while it was going to be all movie stuff. For a while it was going to be only video games. For a while it was going to be Star Wars. It's just been all over the place. Now that I've kind of figured out what I want to do with it, it kind of gives me more of a drive to do it, because before I had a real hard problem with finding the motivation, I guess, to make videos. But like today with this video, I got up early to start editing it and recording it and getting all the information I need together, which is exciting. Just because I'm excited to do it. I'm excited to tell people about my favorite franchise. So it's just giving me a motivation that I haven't felt when it comes to doing podcasts. And that's exciting because it's something I love. I love doing podcasts. It was a hard time finding motivation talking about stuff that I just didn't really have a desire to. Because, I love video games. I love movies, but I'm not like, I don't know. It's just when you enjoy something like I enjoy, like Fallout, it makes it a lot easier to create content based around it. So if you didn't notice the name change, now I'm going by the Wasteland Bard. That'll try my best to be the name for everything. For the podcast, it'll be Wasteland Bard. For YouTube, it's Wasteland Bard. All the social media stuff, that'll be Wasteland Bard as well. So it's kind of a Fallout themed channel, I guess, just because I enjoy Fallout, but also it's a good name, got the logo and everything ready to go. But yeah, that's all I got for today when it comes to talking about all this Fallout stuff. Look out for streams, look out for videos, look out for podcasts. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. All the fun stuff that YouTubers like to say. And we'll see you next week with the next video. I'll see you guys next time.